Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Daryl Brewer. I'm the Economic Development Manager here at the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to another Thursday webinar, The State of Your Business. And I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Bob Ray Sanders, the legend. And let me see if I can pull Bob Ray up. All right, Bob Ray, are you there?
I am here, sir.
Okay, what you got for us today?
Well, I want to remind everybody that this evening we will have our usual monthly Let's Get Connected networking event that starts at 7 o'clock, goes from 7 until 9. It's real easy. All you have to do is tune in via your internet and join with a bunch of other people who have some great news to talk about, their own businesses and their own interactions. So join us. It's every second Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. And the next one is tonight. And speaking of tonight, we're a busy chamber here. Our Paths Forward event has kicked off. We have 12 young members who are participating in that 9-month program. It started last month. This is the second month. That is on the way, and we're proud of the people that we have involved in that. Also, the third Tuesday of each month at 7 o'clock, we have the Next Level Entrepreneurial School. It's a 2-hour interactive workshop, learning skills in marketing, digital marketing, accounting, bookkeeping, income, profit and loss statement, budgeting, whole bunch of other things that go with running a business. That is the third Tuesday each month at 7 o'clock. It's virtual. All of this information is on our website and on our Facebook page. And one other thing that I want to remind you of is save June 25th. That's the date of our annual luncheon. We did not have an annual luncheon last year because of COVID-19. We'll be back on the 25th. It'll be mostly virtual. Part of it will be in person at the Hilton Hotel, but most people will see it on their sets, their website. Dr. Case L. Lawal, who is one of the richest Black men in America, will be our speaker. He's coming from Houston, Texas to talk to us on the topic banking relationships in times like these. He is chairman of the board of the only Black-owned bank in Texas and Georgia. And we're really emphasizing banks this year. We've been trying to talk to bankers in our community about getting more Blacks on their boards and getting more involved in the Black community, particularly the southeast side of Fort Worth. So he should have a great message for us. Stay tuned for how you can connect to that event on your virtual models. And I think that's it, Daryl.
All right, Bob Ray, I appreciate you so much. I just, when it comes to the Let's Get Connected tonight, we're going to go back to our older format, the breakout rooms, so that even if it's, like 2 or 3 people in a room, you can have the time to really get to know one another, as opposed to us having the big group and everyone just kind of going around and just saying who they are in their business. So this way, we go back to the small group breakouts virtually. Regarding the Next Level Entrepreneurship School, we're going to focus on marketing next week, and that's going to be your elevator pitch, your presentation, laying that presentation out if you sit in front of a decision maker, your capability statement. And if some of this stuff is foreign to you, that's okay. That's why we want you to come in, and we're going to do like a 2-hour class, and you're going to come out with your elevator speech, with your presentation. You're going to know about the capability statement and how to put that together. I call that your business resume. So we want you here, and we're here to help you grow your business. We're coming from 1150 South Freeway, the Business Assistance Center owned by the city of Fort Worth. It is a small business place of information. So we have 3 funding institutions here that can lend you money, not give, lend you money from $5,000 up to $12 or $15 million. So that's what we have here. Also, we have, besides the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. We're the Hispanic Regional Contractors here Association. We have the Small Business Development Center, could help you with your business plans. So this is a small business center, business assistance center for you to come. You don't have to be a minority, just a small business. We're here to help you. So make an appointment, because COVID, not taking too many walk-ups. And if you want to become a member of the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, please go to our website at www.fwmbcc.org. There, you can just click on the membership tab and you can fill it out. If you have less than 50 employees, it's $200 a year. So you can do that online. Also, if you're interested in doing some contracts with the city of Fort Worth, city of Arlington, Fort ISD, DFW Airport, for example, click on the Economic Development tab, scroll down, bid opportunities, contract opportunities, click on that and you'll see the portals for those different organizations. Click, you're right in there. All right, so that's that. Now, we up to the main part of the webinar today. And I'm gonna see if I can get us all together and bring up Ms. Michelle Reynolds, because I don't know if she's married. She's the Development Project Facilitation. Development Project Facilitation. Michelle, are you there?
I'm here. I'm unmuted.
I hear you. I see you. Welcome. Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself and we'll get moving along.
I'm jumping into, so as you know, my name is Michelle Reynolds. I work in the city of Fort Worth. Currently, I'm in our Development Services Department as a Development Project Facilitator, Senior Planner. I guess to give you a little bit of background information about what we do as facilitators. So one of our main, or we have maybe 3 or 4 main duties that we are responsible for. So one thing that we do is we conduct what are called PDCs, pre-development conferences. And so PDCs are 30-minute meetings that allow anybody that's interested in developing the city of Fort Worth, whether you've purchased the property or not, but it's just a way for you to do your due diligence before you move forward. It gives you an opportunity to sit before a variety of staff from our zoning, planning, our TPW department, to ask those questions up front. So it keeps you from trying to, hopscotch and find folks. So you have a one-time down sitting and you'll have a variety of staff there. What we also do is, like I said, we facilitate projects, and typically those projects are have some type of public-private connection to it. So those typically come from our director or assistant director, and those projects are assigned. We also, our duties, we lead what are called Lean Six process improvements, where we do our best to streamline our processes, eliminate waste within the city, and just to make a better customer service experience for the residents and anybody that's interested in, developing the city of Fort Worth, and for our internal staff, in whatever struggles that they're going through. So that's a couple of things that we do. Is my position as a development project facilitator. So I'll go straight on into, while we're here for the main event, I guess. So I've been asked to give you all a demonstration, or just kind of go over what we just launched a software through Open Counter, but we had a naming contest, and it's named Cfw Permit Assist. And so what that is, it's a permit discovery software aimed to simplify a lot of the process in obtaining your building permit.
Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Sorry.
And ways to, because everyone is not familiar with the process. It gets a little convoluted and complicated, kind of depending on what you're doing. And so this software will help kind of alleviate, or it's not going to eliminate, but alleviate some of those heartburn as it comes to try and develop in the city of Fort Worth. So you'll know kind of upfront what is required from you or what you need to do in that process. So are we ready to share and get started?
We ready.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, while she's loading up, if you have questions and you're in the Zoom, go ahead and type it in the Q&A or the chat. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and type your questions into the comments section.
So here is our City of Fort Worth landing page, and you can find access to the CFW Permit Assist application here. So I'll back up just even a little bit further. Everybody may not know how to get to the development services platform. So here is the landing page for the City of Fort Worth. So in order to get to the CFW Permit Assist, if you scroll down here to Development and Permitting, it'll take you up to our website. You can click here at CFW Permit Assist. Now my computer wants to run a little slow. We'll give it a little time. There we go. It'll take you straight to the link to the software. Another option, you can click on Permits. And if you scroll down, here it is again with CFW Permit Assist. So there's two ways you can get access to the CFW Permit Assist. And you can click on any one of these portals here, and it will come to you. So if you click on any one of those portals, this is what the face is going to look like. So what CFW Permit has, there's basically three portals. We have a zoning portal, commercial, and a residential portal. So the zoning portal will just allow or let you know what uses, land uses, based off your parcel and what you're trying to do, if that's going to be allowed or permitted for that address. Or if you are wanting to do a particular land use and you may need to do, and it's not allowed, then, you know, of course, you'll be subject to having to go through that zoning change process. So I'll click on, we'll go through a quick demo of the zoning portal, and then I'll do a demonstration on the commercial portal, since we have a limited time, but I want to get you all the information you all need. So if you click on here on the zoning portal, the first thing it's going to ask you is about your project type. And so you can click in a variety of type of projects. So let's do an office. And so this search tool here is based off our Muni code. And so what we try to do working with staff is come up with the language that a normal individual would use and match that to our municipal code, so that, because how someone may speak or how they may reference that type of project may not match what's in our municipal code. So we did our best in trying to make sure that we were able to match how the layman may speak or identify their project and match it up within our land use code. So as you notice here with office, an office here is letting you know that it falls within several zoning types or commercial. So you can have an office in a light industrial. It is also considered a commercial use in the city of Fort Worth, also a public and civic use within the city of Fort Worth, and we have offices that could be considered part of residential uses. So office falls within all of these categories within the city of Fort Worth as it relates to our municipal code. So let's try another one here. Let's try, like a gas station. So what you notice is that the type of uses is changed. So you know that gas station is not going to be allowed it's not being considered like a residential use, if you notice here. So gas station is considered a commercial use, and also in a public and civil uses based off our municipal code. Let's do one more here. So like for instance, some people may just know they want to do a pizza restaurant. They may not type in restaurant. They may just type in pizza. But it still pulls up the fact that it's a commercial use, and you notice that it related pizza to restaurant as a part of our land use code. So let's click on here. We'll click restaurant for a pizza place here. And it pulls up the City of Fort Worth map. So what's unique about this map is it's very interactive. You can move it left and right, up and down. You can also zoom in and out. So if you don't even know a particular address of where you would like to locate your business, so let's say I click on any address. So I'm just going to click on a parcel. If you look here to the left, it auto-populates that address. So even if you just know a particular area or just playing around with the map, it'll auto-populate. So let's just say maybe you don't have an address, and I'll just type in Ramey Avenue. There we go. So I'm gonna scroll out just a little bit here.
Uh-oh, what you know about Ramey Avenue?
Well, I went to school. I went to Dunbar.
I'll be a wild
I tried to do a silent shout out, but you called me out. I was trying to get that out.
Oh, now we bold with it.
I tried to do a little shout out to him. So as you see on here's Ramey. Ramey, if you think about Ramey, there's a lot of homes, residential uses. So let's talk about some of these colors that we're looking at. So that gray represents, that's a prohibited, not an allowed use. So that pizza restaurant would not be allowed in anywhere you see that's gray. It would be allowed in what we see that is labeled in colored green, or permitted there. And in anything that you see that's yellow, it's a maybe, it's a conditional. So there may be some additional things you may have to do as it relates to maybe the building format. There could be a special overlay district on that particular parcel that may be required in order to maybe move forward with a pizza joint. Let's look up another street so you can see the. Is my cat on? Sorry, now cat is on. I want to do West Magnolia. Yeah. So I want to make sure I show you the difference between an area that's predominantly commercial and an area that's predominantly residential. So as you see here, the map adjusts. It's still thinking we're wanting to do a pizza shop, but the map adjusts to that address based off what the land use. What's allowed in that land use for that area. So here we are at West Magnolia. I didn't put in a particular address, but you'll notice that there's a lot more green. So you don't necessarily have to know the address. You can kind of play around. If you just have an idea of where you would want your business to be located, this map will be able to help you sort that through.
You know, it's amazing as I look at that. It just, jumps out at me that on the west side of I-35, all of that is commercial, even though it's some residential stuff over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look on, I'm gonna say it, the black side of 35, and most of its zone residential.
I'll scroll out so y'all can see the whole entire city. Best you can.
And
so you'll notice where some of at least for a restaurant, these are where the permitted uses are.
Well, yes, I see. Yes, I see that. Can you expand that back out again? Blow that back up again, please. Where you were before on Magnolia.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. About right there. So just as I'm just saying, just as a cursory look,
mm-hmm.
you look on the west side of I-35, all of that's green, all of that's zone commercial, or at least commercial uses are acceptable. However, on the right side, which would be the east side, as you can see, most of it's zone residential. And I'm just thinking about it from an economic development point, and why one side may be more developed than the other side. But that's just a note. That's not what you're focused on. So that's just a side note.
We'll have to have a side conversation.
Side note.
Have a little discussion. But as you see, the map lights up, lets you know what's residential. Well, we're doing commercial. This is a commercial product when we talk about a pizza restaurant. But you'll see where a restaurant, which is considered a commercial use, is allowed or permitted within the city of Fort Worth city limits here. And so I have an address in mind that I wanted to. Because this gets down to the next thing you'll need to answer as it relates to your zoning. If you're just trying to inquire, doing a little inquiry, a little investigation as to where do I want to put my business. So the next thing you'll have to answer in order to move on is this question here is, does this business type already exist in this location? And that's very important in zoning. And so I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I want to show you this. So if I hit no, lets me know what's allowed, but what you see is the map didn't change very much. But if I hit yes. So what's happened is, based off this being a pizza restaurant, that it's allowed in a lot more areas, but when it's in this yellow here, that just means there may be some conditions that you'll have to keep in mind as you move forward. Again, like I said, they may go back to building format, where it's located, and maybe could be part of when you think about zoning, and if it's conditional use, serving of alcohol, those type of things may have to be part of that, why it may be conditional. But what you also notice, that our address didn't change. It's still allowed whether it was a business type that already exists in that location or did not exist in that location. So then you would click next. And it brings you to this page here, which is your zoning summary page. It lets you know that your project is allowed at that particular location. It lets you know, gives you a little information of why it's allowed. It also lets you know some of the overlays in that area. So if this particular address is in the near south side, and in order to condense or reduce the amount of verbiage on the page, what we've done is click. So if you click learn more, if you want to learn more about the near south side, it takes you straight to those guidelines and those standards. So you don't have to do any more hunting that you get yourself confused trying to get through our website. It talks about the land use code and what we define as a restaurant. What you also see is some additional overlays here where that area, that particular, but this only pertains to that parcel, to that address, where it's in a TIF district. It has a historic designation. It has transportation impact fee. It's also located or considered to be part of the historic district for Fairmount. Here is the park planning district. And then here are some of those development standards that I mentioned, earlier. Because you are near south side, it will take you back to that same link that was up here based off those standards. Send you to more information within our website as it relates to, let's say here, transportation impact fee or that historic designation. And also gives you a little bit of that parcel information for that address. And then this project details is just how the address you selected and how you responded to that question. And this is you can download this, all this information here. So you would just click download this PDF. Wow, our internet is really, a lot of people on our network. I apologize for the little delay. And you see here, you can save it to your hard drive or save it to a little USB. So that's zoning. And it's only talking about zoning information if somebody that's interested in not sure what they want to do, or they have an idea for a project and you want to know where it would be allowed. Or so if you click back to the Molly here, it takes you back to the beginning. So let's do a commercial portal. Commercial and residential portal. What's unique about these two portals, maybe a little different from the zoning, is that you're going to get a list of the zoning permits that are going to be required to complete your project and an estimated cost for the project. So I'll take a pause. Has there been any questions come in through the Zoom or through the Facebook?
I don't see any. We usually just kind of hold them to the end.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, so what you're seeing before you is now the landing page for the commercial portal. So it breaks down the order of how operations of what we're going to need from you in order to get to that summary page. So you're going to, identify your project type, location. You're going to identify, it will spill back to you what the permits are and then how much those permits will cost you, the fees, and then towards the end, we'll have a summary of all those based off your information that you provided. So it's the same and similar to the zoning. Just stick with a little pizza shop. And before I move forward, if you're not sure about what you want to do as relates to our land use code, you can click here, browse the use code list, and it'll bring up our municipal code and break down, give you even further breakdown as to what those uses are within our municipal code. So let me go around. There we go. So we got our little pizza, hit our search. We'll stick to the same and say a restaurant. Pick this area here because I know it's going to have a lot more requirements. I'll click no. See that? So all this feeds off residential, and your residential and commercial portal will feed off of feeds off the zoning. All that information we laid out in zoning is going to apply here in the residential and your commercial portal. So here where we get to the scope of your project. Is it a new construction? Are we doing any remodels, any accessory structures based off your project type that you're interested in doing? And so these are all this is the scope of the permits within the city of Fort Worth that you can apply for as it relates to commercial. So let's say we'll do a new commercial building. And what you'll see is how the software auto-populates what permits will be required for a pizza shop at that address if it's a new construction. So let's say if we're going to do let's do remodel. Let's do this one here, alteration and remodel. Notice how the list changed of those permits that will be necessary for your project. So with the first thing will catch your eyes that when you're doing new construction, there's going to be a lot more permits that are going to be required for your project. That's the difference between if you're going to do, say, a remodel, and the list significantly reduces. So we'll do a new construction, and then it's going to ask you a series of query of questions. And those query of questions will, A, assess the fees. 2, it could change or even add additional permits that may be required for your use here. So we'll say, for sake of time, I'll say, does your project involve construction or work? I'll say no here. Let's say we'll do some sign work. You notice it should pop up. There's a lot of permits for this, so it's hard to tell when they pop up on you. Let's say we'll do a little work in the right of way. I'm gonna say, we'll do yes here. We'll say construction and infrastructure. Well, we'll max this out so you all can see. So because we asked the question about having to shut down a road in order to do some construction, it asks you how many how many days you'll need for that street occupation. So let's say we'll say 5. And then let's see if you're doing any sidewalk. I'll just keep that even. New construction, you would typically do any construction of water and sewer. And now we see we have some water and wastewater impact fees that's kicked up. And now we're having to do a CFA agreement because we're putting in some public infrastructure. I'll say none of the above. This could get really long. I'll say none of the above here. We have any games? Nope. And I'll say no there. This 31 acre. And so all these questions will be based off what you're trying to do here. I'll say no, no. I'll say yes here. So they see the property lines. No. We do serve alcohol and we have outdoor seating. I'll say no. So once you've answered all these questions, you won't be able to move forward until all the questions on this page are responded to. Then you just click next. And what you see now is it's starting to auto-populate some of those fees. Let's see, a square footage of our Pizza Hut pizza. Let's say I'm gonna do a 7,000 square foot building. And did you see this? See how that changed based off the square footage? So that lets you know that the size of your building. So we'll go 10,000 because I want you all right here, everybody. That's what we want. This is what we want to look at right there. All right, here we go. We'll say we want to do a water meter and square foot of my sign. Let's say 100, just for fun. We'll click next. And in the end, it provides you a summary of your permits, those estimated costs, provides you the same zoning details that we found out within our zoning portal. So right now, the estimated cost for the pizza shop is a little about approximately $8,400. If I were to apply, so you can click. I don't know why it's not working, so that's a problem, everybody. It's supposed to be in a breakdown, so I'm glad I'm doing this. Should be a little more explanation as to what defines what these permits are and why you need them. Now I see there's a little breakdown, so I will make a little note of that.
Does this also tell me when I'm going to need to do this within the process? Like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, that's one of the things I requested, that they, let me sign. So go ahead and you'll create your account and you'll have a whole list of all the projects that you potentially scope. And at that point, let's look at this. I already have an account, everybody.
Did you stop sharing?
Should be okay. Having a couple of internet issues, so let me close this window up here. Well, that's great. My internet is deciding to shut down. Hold on, everybody. But yes, essentially you will go through, you do get a breakdown of when you need to apply for these permits in the process. It also provides you some guidance as it relates to those departments, who to contact. I apologize for that. It's just having a few. Issues. So let me go to an old one. See, here it is. Sorry about that, everybody. There's some internet issues, but this goes back to what he previously asked. So once you get through the process and you finish scoping out your project and you get to the end, this is actually the next screen that you will see. It breaks down your project by the submission order and by department. And so this is one of the things that we had requested if they could do this, and so they were. So it tells you step by step the order that you need to submit, or the order that you need to take care of in order to complete this project. This is not the pizza project. This is a different project I've did earlier. So, it lets you know about the PDCs. That's the information, the meetings that we conduct in our office. It lets you know that with this particular project, that they were located in a TIF. So if you click download, it will give you the TIF information, or take you to the department, which you'll see we'll get to that little slide right there, that tab there. Let you know that anytime you have incentives, you need to apply for those prior to any building permit, because a lot of the incentives, especially when you're dealing with an NEZ, is going to require that NEZ application has been approved and accepted. It lets you know here that number 3, that, hey, you're in the downtown urban design district. So with the downtown urban design district, that means that your plans will need to be submitted before you even move forward with. See, we hadn't even gotten to the building permit portion yet. So that just pertains to this particular project. I must have clicked on this one. We're going to have a little infrastructure and how you need to do your infrastructure work, then plat, then your building permit. So at least with this particular project that I submitted and worked on a little earlier, there are a number of things that you'll need to take care of prior to submitting for your building permit. So a lot of this is that land kind of development. If you have any overlays that deal with any type of incentives, if you're in the design district, all those items, or if you're building any type of infrastructure, any public infrastructure, those things will need to be taken care of even before you even submit for your start on a building permit. And so that's one of the items or tools that we requested for this software. And if you click on the next one here, the department, and so it just breaks down all the departments involved with your permit and how to contact them and how to apply online. So if you already have an Acela account with the City of Fort Worth, you should be able to click apply online and take you right to ACA. I'll stop that one right there. So I will stop because my computer is acting a little wonky, getting a little slow. Are there any questions?
Okay. And I'm going to say, forgive me already, because I was back and forth and so forth. So let's say I want to do a project, a residential project, and I know the address. Click there.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do now? I wait for it to pop up and ask me some questions.
Hopefully your internet service is a lot faster than what's here, but yes, it is going to ask you a series of questions, letting you know that we're going to ask for your project type, the building type you're doing. We're going to get the location, and then we'll let you know what the permit and fees.
Can we walk through one right quick?
Yeah, we sure can. Okay, we're here.
Okay, I'm here. It's going to be a new construction.
Okay.
So we're in residential. I know it's going to be residential house, single family. That's all I know. Now what you asking me?
There we go.
Single family. Yep. Okay. Street 5416. Booker T.
And you see it'll auto populate as you may not even have to fill out the entire address. So it reads, there we go, boom, there's Booker T. Okay, we'll click next. So So here's some of the permits that'll be involved with a new construction at that location. And then it's going to ask you a series of questions. Are you doing any type of accessory work?
What does that mean?
So that means that you're going to be building maybe a garage, shed.
I'm building a house.
Well, some houses aren't coming
A
with,
standard house, I guess. Is that a garage is an accessory to
or
a
carport,
house?
maybe that's, or you could be saying, I'm gonna build a house, but I may not build a garage for them. I'll just do a little carport.
So if it's just a standard with an attached, so this is, see, the kind of, if it's a standard house with an attached garage, do I say yes or no to that?
That'll be a no.
Okay.
The garage is attached to your home, so they're considered as one.
Okay.
So the next question here, series is asking us is about, or do you need to do any type of grading, tree removal? Is this you demoing a house that's already there on the lot?
No, I'm not demoing the house, it's just land.
Okay.
But I don't know about the grading because I don't know. I mean,
If it's over an acre, well, typically the grading is if you're needing to do.
This is infill house in third of acre.
Infill, so it'd be a no. So it'd be no. Will you work in the right of way or temporary closure of any street? So that just means, nope, okay. Are you going to be constructing any water street lights?
Nope.
Okay. You replacing or upgrading any water services to the home?
I don't think so.
You said no to that. You said we're not disturbing any acres.
And again, those asking questions, they're a little bit, I'm gonna say a little bit confusing to me because it's vacant land, and the computer doesn't know that, right? The system doesn't know.
It doesn't know that it's vacant, so that's why if there's a demo, is there another house on there that you need to be demoed?
So maybe the question might be to facilitate at the top: is this a pre-existing structure there, or is it vacant land? Just saying.
Okay.
As we go down to okay. Are you replacing, upgrades? See, that would eliminate some of this. Are you replacing the water and that sort of stuff? Cause, okay, let's go on through.
No, I got your notes down because that's stuff I need to make some adjustments. This is great. This is good. This is good feedback. Okay. Usually that address is, I believe it is less than an acre, project less than an acre. Yes. Is this property owner? So that means, is the person who's building the home, is it a rent home? Or am I building my own home?
Why does that matter?
Because that means that affects your NEZ. So if is
it in the NEZ area?
It probably is. That's why the question popped up.
Okay, good. Okay. Now ask me the question again. It's gonna be for
Is
sale. I'm a builder.
So you're a builder, so yeah, no. Does your project require temporary electric power?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. You can always go back. Let's say once you build your account, you can always go back.
Say no, I don't, because I got generators.
Okay. Would you like to request a zoning verification from the city? So that is for a lot of folks who are doing lenders are now requesting it, and you'll know if you need it because your lender want to make sure that what you're building is allowed on that parcel.
Okay, no.
But you'll know ahead of time, so that'd be a no. You putting in sprinklers?
Nope. Cheap.
And will your permanent structure exceed property lines? Nope. Okay, proposed meter size.
I don't know, whatever it's supposed to be for single family residents.
Let's say single family is 1 inch. Usually it's 1 inch domestic and 1 inch domestic and 1 inch irrigation. Okay, square footage of you're doing a porch or patio?
Let's just say a patio is 10 by 10. I don't know.
So let's say you're doing a 1,000 square feet, and then square footage of the living area.
Wait a minute,
So your
what, a
bedroom,
1,000 square foot porch?
Well, porch, I'm adding your porch, garage,
Oh, okay, I got you.
patio. Mhm.
Okay, I got you.
So the living area, bedrooms, restroom, kitchen, so we could say, so if we put 2,000 to make like a 3,000 square foot house, so we put 2,000 here. See, these questions here, so if you said this was a 1,000 square foot house, I know it sounds ridiculous, everybody, but I just want to show you that that's how they base your building permit fees.
Okay.
So you'll click next. And again, it's that same zoning information that was in the zoning portal. And then here you have all of the permits that will be required.
Okay. So anything jump out at you as a issue? I mean, when I say issue, I mean like out of the ordinary or that's going to require extra attention.
I see that you're in an NEZ, so what that means is, since you are a builder, your contractor, part of our NEZ application, that process, is that you have to either opt in and for those benefits or opt out. But I think because this is not a owner-occupied residential, even though we know that, we'll still have to opt out based off the fact that you're not going to live in the house that you're building.
So,
but I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, that opt in, opt out maybe seems like a little question that a person might not intuitively know the answer to if they're not really familiar with NEZ. It just seems like it to me.
I'm gonna call this the Bureau home. There we go. So here's that order. I don't know if you saw that earlier, that order of submission. They encourage you to do a PDC. Here
What's a PDC?
That pre-development conference.
Pre-development conference. Gotcha.
The 30-minute discovery meetings there. You are in an NEZ, so here's the information for that. So again, any incentives. If your parcel is located in any incentive, you must have that completed first.
Okay.
Before moving forward with your building permit, because your incentives could affect, especially the NEZ. NEZ waives certain application fees.
Okay.
And so we'll need that acceptance list. So I want to make, so that's what that is. Platting, depending on, it just kind of depends on once you move forward. It's a new construction, so you're going to need a plat. So you'll have a legal record plat is going to be required anytime you're trying to receive a building permit within the city of Fort Worth. And then here are your list of your building permits and impact fees that affect you, and then your inspections. Or if you just wanted the information on the departments, here's the breakdown of the departments here.
Okay.
Just let you know, as of today, we at 11 permits. But if you went back and changed up some of your answers, or you want to change the size of the home, or since we weren't occupying any street lane to do any type of construction, and we didn't do any public infrastructure, those type of things could affect your cost and the number of permits in process.
All right, now, and you got the order of things I need to do somewhere? Or where do I find
So
that?
right here, so that submission of order right here.
Okay, got that. Right there. It tells me all that good stuff.
All right. And if you just want to know department, you can click over department.
Okay. So just FYI, I happen to know that this property is in the floodplain. Unless I didn't remember it correctly. So just, you may want to double check that, because I think that's something that really needs to jump out as a cautionary yellow flag to.
Because that'll be an additional permit.
And yes, and it may require an engineering thing and all this other good stuff.
I will make sure, I will take that, I've written that down too.
All righty, Daddy. Now, I didn't mean to hijack your presentation.
No.
Ooh, time has passed.
We were having too much fun. Were there any questions?
Okay, yes, I think there's some questions, and so I'm gonna ask you to, I'm gonna stop your sharing. Get back. All right, there we are. Bob Ray,
Yes.
do we have any questions?
Yeah, we had some, I mean, we were talking about adding on to property, a house. Someone was asking, so this is the process for adding an addition to your home structure and or property like a mother-in-law's quarters or garage, workshop, office. Any of that you would add on, you were saying they needed a permit. So I think
Yes.
you've answered that question. But I have one, these PDC meetings, are
Yes, sir.
those regularly scheduled every week, or how do you know when those meetings are?
Okay, so PDCs are scheduled on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So Mondays from 1 to 2, Tuesdays from 3 to 4, and then Thursdays from 9 to noon. And they're 30 minutes. They're free. There's no charge. Unless you do an hour PDC, that would be $250 if somebody's interested in an hour PDC. But other than that, the 30-minute PDCs are at no cost.
But do they
So I
need
can
to
tell
make
you
an
right
appointment?
now, we are scheduled out to, give me one moment. Hope my computer doesn't.
Because that doesn't sound like a lot of time for all the development going on in Fort Worth.
You'd be surprised. They pack all that information in that 30 minutes.
No, I mean, you're saying you're setting aside, sounds like about 10 hours a week for,
Yes.
well, 10, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
even if you do 2 per hour, it's like 20 development projects. That's what it sounds like to me. That just doesn't.
We're up into July now.
Well, yeah,
July
I
12th.
would expect.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
point exactly.
I haven't looked at our schedule. I had PDCs today, actually.
So they need, but the person would need to make an appointment, and that's why you
Yeah.
filled up already. Okay.
Yeah, so you submit an application, a site plan, and or vicinity map.
Okay, and just to be clear, on zoning, if you're buying a piece of property, before you buy the property, shouldn't you already know what the zoning is?
You should. And that's why you can go into the zoning portal on this app if you are unsure or you're questioning if you're the seller and you're questioning some of the information you're getting from the buyer. Because a lot of times there's a lot of people who are in our PDCs, and that's the buyer, the seller has told them one thing, then they get in the PDC and find out they may have to do, for instance, I had a PDC this week and they found out that they didn't think they were going to have to build roads and build the water and the sewer extension. Then they got to the PDC and realized there was no water or sewer in proximity of the parcel they built. But they've made that decision. They already bought the land. So now they were going to have to go back to the seller and renegotiate some things.
Right. And even if the zoning, I mean, if the zoning doesn't permit what I wanted to build on that piece of property, and I've got it, how difficult is it to change the zoning, or to have the zoning changed?
It depends. Well, I'll tell you that's a 3-month process, and that's because it goes before the zoning commission. They notify the public because there's 2 public meetings. Then even while the zoning commission, they make a recommendation, the council or the authority. So even if, let's say the zoning commission, you wanted to go from a commercial to a residential, and the zoning commission thought they agreed with what you're doing in your project, you could go to council and that council member may not agree. It comes up in a lot of our PDCs, and I always recommend to touch base with that council member if you feel like you're going to need a zoning change that's going to meet what you're wanting to do for that property. Because they make that last decision. And I just hate for anybody to go through paying for a zoning application, go through that entire process, and then to get to the end and then realize that zoning has been denied. So I would tell you, reach out to the neighborhoods and reach out to your council.
Yeah, because you may have people in that neighborhood objecting to what you want to do, right?
Yep, yeah, they sure will. They will come to that zoning commission and they will show up to the council meeting.
Right.
And while that council member may agree with your project, if the people aren't feeling it, they're going to go with their residents, their constituents, if they don't feel like that's controversial to the serves a conflict to their land. So yes.
And someone wanted to know if you have this presentation on YouTube or somewhere else that they can easily access.
Well, I know Mr. Brewer is recording, so I'm hoping in the next week or so I'll do another recording and have that up on our website.
Yeah, like a tutorial.
Yeah, like a little mini tutorial about it. The key is keeping it at a little condensed time that nobody's sitting and having to sit too long, but still provide some valuable information that I don't miss anything.
Right.
Yeah,
And
maybe
Daryl,
if you break up, you have those three sections. So residential, commercial, zoning, so that would be a smaller block that they would click on.
And then I was going to break it up even more and just have another section about just what the app is, its purpose, and then where to locate it. And then I can get to the residential zoning and commercial portals, and I can jump right on into using it. So that's where I am. I'm now up to 4 or 5 videos just to keep it, I don't want to say short and sweet, but jam-packed with the information that the user is going to need in order to use it on their own.
Right. And Daryl, this Facebook, this will still be on Facebook for a while, right?
Oh, absolutely. And then we will upload it to our website eventually. So that's why we wanted to get her on, so that we could go ahead and get this out there as a recording, and I can refer people to this video.
Okay. Well, those are the questions I have, sir.
Oh, I think I saw a few other questions.
In the Q&A, I haven't looked there.
So is this only for Fort Worth or Tarrant County also?
City of Fort Worth only. No, I don't know. Other cities, maybe Tarrant County, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to spend anybody else's money. So,
this is what this one covers, right?
Yeah. This was just for the city of Fort Worth.
All right, and you answered the fact that you're creating the YouTubes and so forth, or the other instructional video. So it also is a question, if someone was doing construction, is it the responsibility of the construction company to file the permits or the property owner?
Is it residential or commercial? Because when it comes to residential, the homeowner.
I'm getting my home remodeled. I'm getting my home remodeled, and I'm hiring somebody like Patrick Jones to remodel my bathroom or some such, or put up a carport like you were talking about.
So as it relates to your home, you as a homeowner can submit your building permits. But when it comes to a lot of those trades where it's your plumbing, electrical, that has to be done by they're gonna look for somebody that has that's licensed to do that and know what you're doing.
So I think it's unclear. I would be unclear as a homeowner knowing what was my responsibility to get a permit for and or not. Is there a way to somehow clarify that?
Is that something that'd be useful on our site or on our permits page?
Well, I imagine, because if I don't know, if I want to get some, like I said, if I'm getting the bathroom done, or if I'm adding, I got a chain link fence, but I want to put up a wood fence or whatever. I don't know I need a permit for that. Even if maybe I'm doing a do-it-yourselfer, or I just don't know.
Okay.
So I really don't know. And for y'all that may have the question about that, we're going to get into bonding next week a little bit, because we have SBA on here, and and you contractors too, they are guaranteeing, they got this guarantee for bonding. How about that? That's amazing. So I can't wait to find out more. But if you're going to hire a contractor, I would suggest bonding is like insurance. So in case something goes wrong, you want to make sure that you're covered. Either you're covering it out your own pocket, or they have the insurance room. So yes, she was the question was from a homeowner, because she didn't have like I was saying, wouldn't have the knowledge of that.
Okay, so let me get with our plans examiner, that team over there, and let them know that this is, this came up as an inquiry or kind of a request during the session, and see where on our site we can put that and make it more visible. Or maybe we have it and it's just hard to find.
And someone else asked, is it a play tool available? Where I can play around with this and not, instead of a demonstration model, they can put stuff in and out. I think is what the request is, versus going in and doing something for real. Or maybe I should do something. They just want to get acquainted with it. Is there something available to get acquainted with? Or just, hey, just go ahead, and this doesn't hurt anything.
Just go ahead, go in there, play with it, with the tool that's on the site. It's not a big issue. You don't have to move forward and signing in and creating an account. That helps, because we do have staff on the back end that's looking at the projects that are submitted and are shooting them off to, specific departments, or trying to answer questions. So you don't have to go create an account. It's helpful. So when you can go back and see what you've done and compare your projects. But please feel free to use the link and play with it as much as you want and get familiar. Because it's up and it's live and ready to go. Because I prefer you to play with the live link. So if there's something that wrong, or something that's not clear, that's something that I can go back to the software and say, hey, here are some of the inquiries or some of the concerns or challenges that some of our users are having, and go back through and correct it.
Is there some assistance for filling out an NEZ form?
They want an NEZ there. Well, we got to find out if you're located in an NEZ. Do y'all know where that's at on our site?
Well, but I mean, there's some assistance with this. They're going to do something with their home, or maybe they got land in that area, and so I understand that they could do work with their builder, what have you. But even before they start the permitting process, you were saying they need to deal with this NEZ.
Yeah, the neighborhood environment zone.
I think there's just a little question if there's some assistance
with filling out the paperwork.
Yeah, they were just wondering if there's some assistance in filling. Yes.
Yes, there is. Let me show you where that is. Let me show you where that is on our site. If you don't mind, I'll share my screen again for folks who I'm visual.
Okay. And I've asked so many questions. I've kind of run us out a little bit. We're running a little late. I'm okay with that. If you have a little time, we're at 1:07. I'm okay with it. And also, we want to get your contact information for questions, or wherever questions should go.
So while NEZ is it's an incentive program, you would think it would be under the Economic Development Department, is the natural course you would take. But our NEZ is run by our Neighborhood Services Department. So The best way I would tell anybody to do is go up here to departments. Click neighborhood services. And here are all of the, well, we got to fix that, don't we? Here are all the programs and incentives that are within the neighborhood services. So if you scroll down here to neighborhood empowerment zones.
Okay.
And it goes over what those basic incentives are, the requirements. Can't have any liens though. You got to be free and clear in order to qualify. I just want to make sure I say that. But here is the contact information. Here's the young lady who administers that program. And you see where I told you where you have to opt in or opt out for the NEZ incentive. It's located right here. And if you click on this tab here, it tells you how to apply. If our internet is, I apologize, our internet is, there must be many of us on the network today. It is really slow. I'm sorry, you all.
So maybe I understand you naturally, you said people would think that under economic development, but it's under a different, but even if y'all had a button and they clicked on it and they took them over there, that would be probably a good thing.
Okay. Okay. We're still working on the website, and any comments, suggestions to improve it to make it more user friendly, we'll take them. So I'll get with that neighborhood services office about a better place to locate an NEZ button.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just think that's an IT thing, just to put one on y'all's under economic development. They just click on it and it goes over to to that section.
The neighborhood services. Mm-hmm.
Right, because on our website, you can click on our website and you go and it takes you to the City of Fort Worth purchasing department for contracting.
Okay. Any more questions? I have a little time.
Just whatever
time
contact
for you all in case I did my cup running over and talking, so I carved out a little extra time.
So whatever contact information that you could provide for those that who may have additional questions,
Okay.
whether it's yours or some other place inside the city.
Okay.
If you can just
forward it to you, or
yeah, you obviously I have it, but also you can send it to me, but just tell us right now so it'll be on the video.
Okay, so you can email me at Michelle with 2 L's, MICHELLE.Reynolds, REYNOLDS, as in Bert, Debbie, and the foil, at FortWorthTexas.gov. Spell out Fort Worth, Texas, no spaces, no gaps, .gov.
Awesome. Barbara, you have any other questions?
No, that's it, sir.
Well, this has been a information-packed hour plus. And Michelle, we appreciate you for coming on and taking the time to really go into it and explain that to us, because we definitely need it. And we will be sending this out, the link out to our other contractors to make sure that they take the time to get access. I think this really can save them some time, especially because they can do these things before they even get to a pre-con meeting.
Yes, and then I think if you are hiring somebody, it empowers you as the owner. I'm gonna hire someone as a contractor to make sure that they're telling me what it's supposed to be as well. Because again, I see that as well.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you again for coming, and it was just an excellent presentation, and we look forward to staying in contact with you.
Oh yeah, sure. Let me know if you need anything else.
So
right,
thank you again.
Thank you.
Barbara, I'm going to hand it over to you so you can give us some our announcements on the way out.
Okay. Again, tonight is our networking event. It is virtual. the Let's Get Connected networking event, 7 p.m. tonight. You can check our Facebook page and see how you could connect to that. We also have upcoming is our luncheon, our annual luncheon, June 25th. That's at noon. It would also be a networking event. Dr. Case L. Lawal, one of the richest black men in America, also owner of the only African-American owned bank in Texas and Georgia. He will be speaking on banking relationships in times like these. And I want to remind you that every third Tuesday at 7 p.m., join us for our 2-hour interactive workshop, Next Level Entrepreneurial School. It's got all kinds of information on how to start and run a business. So, and that's it, Daryl.
All right, Bob Ray. Thank you. I appreciate you. I just want to add that tonight at 7 with the Next Level, we're going to go back to our breakouts. So you have time to talk one-on-one with each other. And I think that'll be a little more gratifying than sitting around and watching 20 people or so give their 5 or 10 minute speech, or 2 or 3 minute speech. So that's that. And next week, we're still on the contractors right now because we got the Small Business Administration coming next week. And they're going to talk about a bonding, which is insurance. If someone is coming to do work on your home, that you want them bonded so that if something happens, hey, it'll be covered versus you having to cover it out of your pocket. But the great thing, it looks like the Small Business Administration is guaranteeing bonding for contractors or for small businesses. So I don't know exactly what that's going to be. Tune in next week and find out. But it looks like it's sort of like a guaranteed loan. So I think that's a great opportunity for those who need that bonding to provide bonding for their contracting situations. And with that, Bob Ray, I think we're going to call it a day, and we'll see you next week here on the State of Your Business webinar. Bye now. We'll see you.
All right.